tonight, girl, girl.
What's going on, guys? It's Jared here. I'm bringing you guys a different kind of video than I normally do. Lately it's been a lot of auto, like cars, motorsports, just that kind of stuff. But I'm going kind of back to my roots here, and the other passion for this channel is technology. And I think a big part of our technology today is our cell phones. I finally upgraded my phone to the S9 Plus, if you couldn't tell by the title of this video. So I'm going to go through what this phone is, you know, for the price, what are the benefits, pros and cons. So we're going to get right into it. First, I want to start off with the design. Now I'm going to start off with the cons of the phone, and then I'm going to transfer to the pros. Cons of the phone: Samsung software. To the first phone I had, the S4 Active, till now, the software is always just a pain in the ass. But let me explain that to you. First off, the stock keyboard. I don't understand how they've had phones in the market for years on now, and their keyboard still does not compare to Gboard, Apple's keyboard, hell, even knockoff keyboards, maybe, I don't know, some stuff you could find in the Google Play Store is still better than the Samsung keyboard. The next thing I want to get into. Since I upgraded from a S6 to an S9, there's definitely some hardware differences there. And the big difference is the USB-C port on the bottom of this phone. So I don't have any chargers, and I regularly come back and forth to my college. I'm not going to always remember to bring my chargers, so I bought two aftermarket cables off Amazon. They were the highest recommended ones. They had great reviews, and I was like, alright, I can't go wrong with this, right? It had the correct specifications and everything. It's a 6.5 foot braided cable, metal, everything. It's Type-C, obviously. Like I said, the specifications were right. So I was like, whatever, I'll buy these. They're $10 for 5. You know, it could be a gamble, could be not. So I plug in the phone, charge it, whatever. Next day I noticed my battery's just like, this phone was, I kid you not, the phone was literally a week and a half old. When I got these cables, plugged it in, I was down to 30% after like an hour of having the phone and barely using it. I was like, no. So I check into the apps and services that are running, and would you look at that? Google VR services. I Google it. Funny. It was Samsung VR services. So I Google it. I'm like, why is this eating up all my battery? Oh, Samsung's on their website. They had a whole like forum about it. Why is this activated? Poor cable use, or actually something with the VR. And I have not touched the VR, so I know it wasn't the VR. And Samsung's response is, yeah, either start using your stock cable or download an app disabler. I'm like, what kind of response? Your cable that's less size than that costs like $30. I'm not going to go and buy your damn cable. And then your second response is to go buy an app disabler or a service disabler? Like, what? Are you kidding me, Samsung? That is like the biggest crock of shit ever. I don't want to go buy some third-party software. Fix it yourself. That's why I paid so much money for this damn phone. But whatever. I'm like, whatever. I'll pay the $3. I'll get the app disabler. The service is disabled permanently. It's not a problem. I just have to re-enable the service when I go update my phone. But I can set it all to just disable it when I get the update over with. So, whatever. I'll just let that go. Now, Bixby. Everybody's got a bone to pick with Bixby. The only thing that pisses me off about Bixby is the damn Bixby button. Like, in my app disabler I can disable it, but the button's there for a reason, and I want to use it just because it's like, I paid for the damn phone with Bixby on it. Like, I feel like I should be using it, but I've watched videos from like MKBHD on like, AI comparison, not AI, like whatever, the assistant comparisons. She's probably the most useless out of the bunch. She's really dumb. I don't understand why Samsung feels the need to make everything their own. Just Google has it good, stick with Google. Like, your phone's running Android, just stick with Google and it would be so much better. I never had a phone that was a Google Play edition, but if this phone was a Google Play edition, this would be probably this would be a perfect phone for me. Samsung software is really what just pisses me off about this phone, but I found ways around it. I'm dealing with it. I'll get into the pros of this. So onto the pros of the phone. The camera. So like I said, I had the S6 Active before this. That's what I'm filming on right now. It is a great camera for a few-year-old phone. To me it's comparable like a GoPro. It's got a really nice high-end camera, the S6 Active, but the S9, this thing can record in 4K 60 FPS fully stabilized, and that's amazing. Even the new Huawei phone, the P20, I don't know, I can't think about the top of my head. I think it was the P20 Pro? Anyways, that phone can only record in 1080p stabilized. It can't record 4K stabilized, which I find funny having 3 cameras in the phone. You think they would have just slipped that into one of the lenses or something. But 4K 60 FPS. I knew the phone had a great camera, but it's like that's not the real main feature why I'm buying this phone. So I recorded my last YouTube video, which you should go check it out. It's about a mini bike. It's pretty sick. But anyways, I recorded the video. Looks amazing. It is crispy 4K. It just looks very nice. And I throw it on my laptop, which is dual core i7 hyper-threaded. It's a low power laptop. It's an Ultrabook. So I'm like, why is this so laggy? I'm throwing it in Sony Vegas and it's glitchy and stuff, and I'm like, this has to be the video size. So I actually go look at the file and it's like 4K 60 FPS. I'm like, oh my god. Like, I remember recording 480p videos on my 4S. Like, it's crazy, It's crazy how fast technology's going that I have a damn near perfect camera on my cell phone, right? But the camera meets my quality needs. I can record my YouTube videos, I can take good pictures. The software is very good. Another pro of the phone is I love the way this phone looks. It is a very good looking phone, for me. It's all about your perspective on that one, but to me the phone looks amazing. I love the infinity display. I used to get a text document, but the way it wraps around, I like it. Some people don't see it, but like when I'm sitting there watching YouTube, it just kind of like disappears in your hand. Even those bulky ass cases there, just, I don't know, there's something about it. The 18:9 aspect ratio looks amazing. I love it. I love having that extra like scroll space when I'm going to like Twitter or whatever. It's very convenient. When I'm playing games, you get that extra, I guess, oomph in there if you're playing a game. Like all Samsung phones got the AMOLED panel. Looks amazing. I've went through Apple phones. I've had 2 Samsungs, a Nokia. I've had like a cheap blue phone. Best display ever. Compared it next to my friend's Google Pixel 2, no shot. Definitely the Samsung. Thing that sucks about having an aesthetically pleasing phone is it's not the most sturdy phone. Obviously when it's made out of glass and aluminum, you drop it, it's probably going to shatter. For me, I'm out here doing stupid shit on mini bikes, whatever, working on cars, I don't know, I'm just doing stuff, and I cannot not have this phone in the case as much as I want to have it around. I have an insurance plan, but I don't want to break this phone because it's still going to probably be expensive in the end. So another reason why I chose this phone is the performance. It's got a Snapdragon 845 under the hood. It's the new refresh over the 835. Not sure what specifically the difference is on there. I'm not too into ARM processors, but I know the performance is higher, and for me, future-proofing's very important for me. That's why I like that high-end hardware. But I was tempted to buy a Note 8 or a S8 Active because they're around the same price for what I'd get the S9, but I know having the updated internals means it's going to last longer, there'll be less problems, there'll be more support in the future. I probably won't have this phone by the time software support ends. Probably be about 2.5, 3 years, somewhere in there. Android Oreo is nice. It looks very good. Yeah, it looks very good. I've had a few hiccups with the software. Just some apps glitching out, doing whatever they do. I don't know. It's not really the phone's fault. It's just kind of Android, the way it is, as usual. I regularly play PUBG Mobile on my phone. Man, it runs good. I can run that shit at ultra. So, I love it. I'm sure it'll go down as time goes. I mean, I could run PUBG on low everything on the S6 Active, but still ran solid. So the phones I've came from to give you my next perspective is I came from my first cell phone was a iPhone 4S. Well, actually, it was the 3GS. That wasn't my first smartphone was the iPhone 3GS. I had that for a few months, and my uncle actually got me a 4S, and that thing was I loved it. I loved having the old school iOS. It was so clean and fast and snappy. It was perfect. But then, iOS 7 came around, and it's like, this is awful. And then I upgraded to the S4 Active. That phone had a lot of problems. It was easy to break. Funny the name, S4 Active. The camera was good on it. I'll just save this for another review, but we'll go on. Then I went up to the 6 Plus, which was a pretty solid phone until, it bent. Bendgate. Then I had the 6S. 6S got a little angry, and I just kind of, threw the phone, shattered, died, LCD's dead. I was like, whatever. And then I got a cheapo Android phone, was running 7.0 Nougat Blue, Vivo S1. Nah. Just kind of got me to the S6 Active, which I found on Letgo. Has cracked screen. Other than that, the phone works good. The camera is very good on the S6 Active. For the $60 I paid for the camera, I got my money's worth just out of the camera alone. The phone was pretty snappy. Battery life was meh, because you're buying a few-year-old cell phone. So, why did I pick the S9 Plus? I'm a heavy cell phone user. Like I said, I play video games sometimes on my phone when I'm bored. I watch a lot of YouTube on my phone at college. I'm not going to pull out my laptop to watch a YouTube video when I just have this thing in my pocket. So the 3500 milliamp hour batteries, it's pretty good. If I have this phone running in 1440p, battery life kind of goes down quick. Full HD plus, pretty good actually. Either way, the phone gets me through a full day. But compared to the Note 8 last year, the battery's a lot bigger and there's not as much display. So, they definitely upgraded the battery, I guess. Headphone jack. Everybody loves the headphone jack. I don't understand why companies are coming up with these bullshit excuses. Gotta get rid of the headphone jack. There's not enough space in the phone. That's bullshit. Samsung can fit it in this. I don't see why people can't fit it in their other phones. I feel like it's more of a business perspective. Oh, if we don't have the headphone jack, they gotta buy our adapter, and they gotta buy all this proprietary bullshit that nobody should have to buy. That's just the way this world works. People want money. People make things complicated to get more money. Android. I picked the phone also because of Android. I've had 3 iOS devices, and I had 3 Android devices prior to buying this, and having that many years of 2 different things, the only thing I'm going to miss about iOS is damn iMessage. It's just easy, convenient. I don't get a lot of service at my house, which sucks. So iOS is always, iMessage is always there for me. But now the service on this phone is better, probably because, antennas and these are getting better. I don't know, this is better. Another thing that turned me away from Apple is when I had my 6S, the whole battery kerfuffle where they were just throttling your phone. Kind of seeing that coming from Apple, I was like, I don't doubt that they would do that in the future again for their future phones. Their phones have very tiny batteries compared to these phones, and I could see that problem easily happening again. I don't want Apple throttling my phone without giving me an option. I know they're going to give you software options, but it's just doesn't mean Apple can't do it with something else, right? Their stuff's very proprietary. You got to buy adapters, Lightning. It's not as convenient as all these Android phones I've had. Micro USB. Everybody has a micro USB cable lying around. Not everybody has a Lightning cable lying around. So my perspective on this phone, my last perspective is, I see Samsung as being the iPhone alternative for Android. iPhone's got Animojis and all this cool Face ID. They got their clean-looking phones and everything, but Samsung just tries to do the same thing. They're trying to appeal to people that don't want iOS. Maybe they want Android. And in turn, the phone's a lot cheaper too. Now, Samsung's version of AR emojis is god-awfully cringeworthy. But the thing I love about it is Samsung is just always willing to just throw in features. It's like, let's just give this fucking thing all the bells and whistles. It needs all of it, right? And, that's kind of what I like about Samsung. My phone can do just about everything that an iPhone 10 can do for a little, not a little under. It's $150 to $200 under, Another thing about this phone is if it breaks, I could easily fix this. Screens are easily replaceable on this compared to an iPhone. I'm not saying it's easy to replace it, but it's easier compared to an iPhone. 8 or a 10 because it's all welded and just the glass is on there, and it's a pain in the ass. These you can buy replacements and you can fix them. It's a good cell phone for a heavy phone user, a tech enthusiast. Like I said, you get the app support. Samsung supports, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. But overall, the software is solid. There's not a lot of problems. I've never had actual software problems with a Samsung device before. So I'm a pretty solid Samsung fan. They've treated me well over the past few years. The other phones haven't lasted that very long, or haven't done that very well with me. The other option I was looking at when I was looking at cell phones is, why don't I buy a like a high-end Nokia phone, or an HTC, or maybe even a Huawei. I have a Huawei watch. It's a very nice watch, and I really do like the P20 Pro, but the thing is, I trust Huawei more than other brands, like when you're getting into lower end brands that don't have as much of a following, it's pretty obvious that app support and just general support for them is going to be a lot lower than what Samsung is, because Samsung is, out of all the Android phones, you're either going to have a Pixel or a Samsung. There's really only the top two, and then there's all the underdogs. Not to say the underdogs are bad. They pack some seriously cool hardware. They have a lot more variation than iPhones and iOS, obviously. It's just that they, app support's always going to be a problem. Like, if I would have lived with that blue Vivo, I know that thing probably wouldn't have got an update to Android 8.0. Probably no shot. So that's kind of what turned me away from buying a little lower end phone. OnePlus probably would have been a good option too, but also for me, I'm paying off my phone kind of like a car. It's on the AT&T's Next plan. You pay this much a month with insurance, and then you just wait and pay it off, and then you can go trade the phone in if you want to get a new one, or you can pay it off and keep it, or you can pay off or just take the phone and pay it off entirely. So I didn't really have an option to go with a Huawei or any other kind of phone. But overall, this is a pretty solid phone. I'd highly recommend it to anybody. If you're more of a power user, definitely the S9 Plus, or if you got bigger hands, S9 Plus. If you're not really a power user, maybe an S8 or an S8 Plus, or even just the S9. They're definitely coming down in price, the S8s. If you want an even bigger phone, then maybe you should wait for the Note, assumably 9, or you just stick with the Note 8. If you're looking for a rugged phone, so far, I haven't dropped this phone significantly. The glass is scratched already without having a screen protector on for probably 3 weeks. So, you got to be careful. I bought a glass screen protector, and I got a casemate case on it. So, overall, I plan on making an update on this, give my perspective again, what's changed. Samsung software gotten worse, update on cables, the cable charging problem. But overall, I'll let you guys know. And if you like this video, please feel free to like, subscribe. It would mean the world to me. I'd love to make more content for you guys, but I need that motivation. I need more subscribers. I need more likes. 10 views a video is not really cutting it for me, so hook a brother up. Alright, till next time, thank you guys.